Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Megillah, page 24, which discusses how a person is supposed to wear tefillin. Tefillin, which are worn by adult males, usually during Shacharis morning services. One has to be extremely careful to make sure that they're worn properly, especially when we're thinking about the tefillin shorosh of the head, that the Mishnah says that we have to be careful that they should not be al mitzcho, on the forehead, or possibly even lower. And one does wear the tefillin that way. The Mishnah says this is what's called derech haminus. These were a group of people that only followed the Torah literally, the way it was written, and not the oral traditions of our sages. So when we recite in the Shema about wearing tefillin, it says that they should be totafot bein inecha, which bein inecha literally means that the tefillin should be between your eyes. And that's precisely what they did. They actually wore their tefillin between their eyes. How they were able to see, that's a good question. But that's what they did. And therefore, because that is not the proper way of wearing them, because based on our tradition, we do have them between our eyes, but up here, so that it is corresponding to the middle of where our eyes are, but has to be above the hairline. And if a person therefore wears their tefillin in the improper place, they are not fulfilling the mitzvah, and worse than that, they're actually being categorized as these people who disgrace, as using the language of Rashi, the words of our sages. And this is something that is a big issue, especially even if a person doesn't necessarily do it for the wrong reasons. You have to make sure to fulfill the obligations properly, to do them in accordance to how one should wear them, which again has to be literally above the hairline. That doesn't mean if a person is bald doesn't have to wear tefillin, but where the hairline once existed, even if a person's hair may be receding. One of the issues is that as a person gets older, their tefillin straps become softer, and not only that, if they lose their hair, what ends up happening is that what was fitted on their head at 13, all of a sudden they start going down. So we have to make sure that those straps get tightened up in order that the tefillin are worn properly so that you'll be able to do the mitzvah in its correct way.